Hello everyone, my name is Angela and this is Let's Paint Now. So we are today at the second edition of our free classes. I'm super happy to be taking you through our second free painting today, and I am very happy that you came and watched us last Friday, and I hope you'll continue being with us next Friday. So this is going to be happening 3 times. And our usual classes of Let's Paint Now happen on a weekly basis. So we usually have a set of online and live classes. If you check on our website, you can see the little mention saying either online or on-site. When it says on-site, it means the class is happening in Doha, in a coffee place, or in a restaurant somewhere around the city. So just check where the location is. If it suits you, come on board and join me to paint with us. On another note, I've also developed little packages for gift holidays, and it's called gift cards, and it's on our website, and you can actually purchase online classes tickets for cheaper. So if you get a pack of 3 tickets or 5 or even 10 tickets, you would get them for a discounted price. So I highly recommend you have a look at those because they're only there for a limited period of time, and it's a very nice offer. You can use it for yourself, or you could even use it for a friend. If you know somebody that's actually passionate about art, that would be a wonderful holidays gift that you can give to them. A set of 10 tickets, an entry for 10 of our classes that he can use all throughout the months. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. What else did I want to tell you? Today's painting is super fun. You're not going to be seeing it in the beginning, but I'm going to take you through all the little steps, and no matter what level you're in, whether you're an amateur or a professional, young or not, anybody can participate and anyone can have fun. Okay? So let's do this. All right, so first of all, I want to take you through quickly the material that we've got over here. I usually use a set of a few brushes, but the main 3 ones that are my hero brushes, I give them names. And the 3 names that I give to those brushes are Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. So these are the 3 brushes that I use the most. This is my Papa Bear brush, it's the big brush. My Mama Bear brush is a medium brush, and a Baby Bear brush is a small bristled brush. Basically, they each have a different function. Obviously, Papa Bear is used for big surfaces. Mama Bear, I use her pointy side for more detailing, but yet she can hold so much paint because she has so much over here. And Baby Bear is obviously used for all the detailing work. Okay? Next, I want to also tell you that you always need to have a clean jar of water, maybe many, because you might use one for the cool colors and another one for the warm colors. So it's dark colors, light colors, so you don't want to have them all mixed together. It's always good to have a set of 2 jars. A towel. I've had a clean towel next to me every single day. It doesn't end up being clean at the end, but it's always good to have it clean in the beginning. I also have another one over here at the corner that you might not see really well, but it's to remove the excess of paint. So that is to dump all the excess of paint, then to be able to wash the brushes and to finish off by removing the excess of water over here. So there's a whole journey going on over here. If we zoom a bit more on the middle area, you can see a paper that I stuck with a Scotch tape that is called a washi tape. Washi tapes, I've got a few over here, are another piece of passion that I've got. They come in different sizes, colors, and in different designs. So they're made out of paper, and they actually do not hurt your paper. So you can actually stick it, even go and press it real strong with your nail. It will never hurt your paper. And what is really good with the washi tapes is that at the end you might just remove it and peel the tape very smoothly, and it's going to be completely nice and sweet. You're going to have a wonderful frame right there without any problem. Alright, now the final thing that is also one of the most important thing is the usage of acrylic paints. Now I always paint with acrylics, but at the same time you could be using them with water if you want. You can use them straight from the bottle, or you can use them with the water. Now I really love the pigmentation of acrylics. It gives me a big array of versatility, and I really love the way they blend together. I've also blended a few colors over here to make our lives easy. If you have any set of colors of acrylics that are already mixed decks, that's going to make also your life way easier, and you're going to be able to be using them straight ahead. So if you have any mix of colors that are already done, don't hurt yourself. Just grab that and use it straightforward. Don't worry about making any blends. All right, let's get started. Okay. So first and foremost, I want to tell you how to take care of the background. Oh, one last thing I forgot, really important, the quality of the paper that I'm using. Yes, you might want to paint on a canvas, which is perfectly fine, and I would be super happy to see the result also of that. But you're also capable of painting on a piece of paper, just like me, if you don't have that much space in your house to kind of accumulate a gazillion amount of canvases. So this paper is a 300 GSM paper made for acrylic or watercolor. 300 is really good as a base so that you can actually use it and use with a lot of water, and it's not going to be wobbling around when we're painting. It's going to stay really steady, and it's going to be drinking water without any problem, without giving us any headache. So like I said, I always take care of the background first. So our background is mainly blue and a gradient of blue. So I would like you to follow me into doing this journey. We're gonna start from the very bottom area of the paper and we're gonna move it all the way to the top, okay? So it's gonna be a nice and smooth gradient all the way to the top. We're gonna begin with some white. First, I'm gonna take my Papa Bear brush and I'm gonna give him a nice wash right over here and make him ready. I always wash my brushes in order to start painting because then the paint can connect to the brushes and everything is beautiful. You're gonna take some white paint. I've got over here white, also some blue and red, primary blue and primary red. I haven't already mixed lime green over here, which I will tell you also how to mix. You don't need to have it also in a bottle. And let's get started. We're gonna start with some white at the bottom of the canvas. So it's pure white as a first layer. And you're gonna use your hand as a pendulum. It's gonna go left and right, just like this. You're not gonna see any color first, which is totally fine. You're just gonna keep on doing this at the very beginning. I'm gonna start moving up just a tiny bit, okay? When we're this far up, I'm gonna ask you to make a very nice light blue blend. How to make the light blue? You're gonna pinch some blue. When I say pinching, I mean it's really taking the color with the tip of the brush. Not all of it, literally just pinching the color. You're gonna pinch some blue color. Look at how tiny the blue is on my brush. And then I'm gonna mix it with a part of my white paint. Not all of it, because I don't want all of it to be this color. It's gonna give me a nice creamy light shade of blue. And I'm gonna get rolling. Right on top of the white that I put, it's my second shade, I'm gonna start adding this light shade of blue. Okay, if you feel like the one I did is a little bit too dark, you can go back and add more white at it. But I think this light blue could be slightly lighter, so you can go even lighter and basically go over the gradient and start moving upwards. So what happened is at the very bottom of my canvas, I've got this really nice whitish shade, and as I'm going upwards, I'm gonna start having more and more blue. How am I gonna mark that? Every single time I'm gonna tell you we're gonna pinch, and we're gonna pinch. I'm just going to accentuate the white a little bit more at the bottom. Okay, so pretty more whitish at the bottom. And then as you go upwards, you're gonna be adding more and more blue. Very, very slowly. So that's got a light gray, light shade of blue first. And then the gradient has to be very, very smooth. The way to make very smooth gradients is wonderful actually. It's super easy also. You have to overlap the new color every single time with the previous one. So here we go. I'm gonna get one notch darker. What do? I pinch some blue. Again, I blend it with the light shade of white over here. It could even be in the same shade of blue that I've got, because actually it's not gonna hurt because it's the same color that's growing and growing. And then I'm gonna go into a darker shade of blue right over here. And I'm gonna move forward with it. I'm gonna move forward and pull the colors upwards. So it's getting darker and darker. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more blue. That's gonna get darker, even one more level. You can see I'm using my hand like a pendulum, but in fact I'm using it to blend colors in. Like the more I do this movement, the more my colors are blending in. I'm not afraid of going back and forth, which means in this case up and down, but at the same time I don't want to pull the dark colors down. Just be careful that the dark doesn't go down. I'm gonna get a little bit darker, slowly pushing the color into becoming darker at every stroke, okay? Now this is going darker. My brush stroke is also very light. I don't want to push it really hard. I really want it to remain soft and smooth. And now I'm getting into really darker shades of blue in the realm of the darker shade of blue, which in this case has almost no white at all. It has almost no white in it at all. Okay, I'm gonna just go one notch darker because this one still had a little bit of it. And this one has no white whatsoever. There you go, super dark. And a way to make this blue that you're seeing right here even darker is to add a small amount of red in it. Because what's gonna happen, it's gonna give me a purplish shade, okay? Really tiny amount of red, look at that. I'm gonna put it on the side, have it sleep, and you can already see the color that I'm gonna get. It's a more ultramarine kind of blue that I'm blending with my own blue, with this super tiny dab of color. And then I'm gonna go back and again continue pushing my gradient all the way to the top. So I'm using blue, but this time I've even injected some red in it in order to get it darker one level. One notch darker, and there we go. I have a beautiful gradient that starts from a light, almost whitish shade of blue and gets into a very dark and ultramarine kind of very cool blue. This is how we make gradients. Now I'm going back and forth with my brush, but it's very light and very soft, and there's almost no paint left on it. So it's basically my brush is basically playing the role of a blender. It's playing the role of somebody that blends the colors together more than adds anything. So see the journey, we started with white and kept on injecting more and more blue and went all the way upwards. All right, so now what's gonna happen in the middle is where we're going to be creating this Christmas snowball. So it's like, you know those balls that you kind of move and there's little snowflakes that will shimmer in it. So that's exactly where I wanna position it, right over here, okay? Now, I'm gonna be using the baby bear to draw the basic shapes of that, okay? And once I'm happy with the shapes, I'm gonna start doing more detailing in it, okay? So at first, you're not gonna see much. You're just going to see just a circle something. But as I go in, it's gonna get more and more detail-y, okay? Let's do it. First, we're gonna go with our baby bear brush and we're gonna take a dark shade of blue. So you're gonna take the blue straight from the bottle, okay? Now it's going to be a little bit intricate, but I think we can all do it together. I want us to trace a circle over here and make it as straight as possible. And when I say in the middle, I literally mean in the middle of our canvas. So if I hold the canvas like this, and I hold my brush, like this, and I place it like across, you can actually see the position of the ball is going to be exactly over here. You're gonna make it as circular as you can. If it's not super circular, it's okay. And it's probably gonna happen for me too. Just try to have your eyes watch the circle before you trace the line. You don't need to go fast. You just need to do the line by pressing over the brush and trying to make it as circular as you can. If your paper is not stuck on a table, then you have the luxury of actually moving the paper around, which is even easier, so that you can actually control more the circular shape. In this case, I couldn't do that, but I kind of managed to have a circular shape, all right? So that is the outline of my circular shape. For now, I'm not gonna fill it in yet. I just want to have a beautiful outer line, defined, clear, and if it has a little bit of thickness, it's okay. It's the thickness of the glass, so it's all good, okay? We're pretty happy with this. How's that? Now, once you're happy with the result that we've got over here, we are ready to be adding the snow. All right, everybody. Now that we're done with the first step, we're gonna be moving forward into adding the details inside of that ball. So, first and foremost, I want us to visualize the area where the light is going to be inside of the bowl. So I'm going to be taking my Mama Bear brush right over here and obviously giving her a nice little wash and taking some white paint. I want to lit a small area. So the white paint is going to be blended with some blue. So it's going to be a light shade of blue. Not too light, not too dark. It's like a medium level of blue, almost like this one over here. Okay? Right over here, medium level of blue. And I'm going to make a little circle over here that is going to be lighter than anything else. So it's almost as if you are making the area inside of the ball lighter than what you've got on the outside. And you're also unifying it, but not with a very thick coat of paint, but just medium level of coat. So medium level of blue, a bit of white, a bit of blue. Obviously it has to be lighter than the background so that we kind of feel that there is another layer or something else is happening in the middle. And you're gonna go and coat the inside of the little ball without going over this outline. I want the outline to shine through. So just try to move all around it and kind of leave me this dark outline shine out. And I really don't want to cover it. So that way I kind of did the base of the ball. Now there is snow in it, so I will be going and starting to add the snow. The snow is like little hills. First, I'm gonna add a hill right over here. And then I'm gonna completely fill it in with white paint. So my first hill is right over here, it's a big one. And I'm gonna nicely and gently fill it in with some white paint. Okay? Then I'm gonna go back and take another amount of white paint to do the second hill. There we go, you take some more white paint and you do the second hill right in the back. So it's gonna give you some nice snowy effect on both sides of the ball. All right, everybody. Now that we've added the first layer of snow, we are ready to be adding our snowman. Our snowman is obviously in complete white color. He's made out of a first circle right over here in the middle of these hills. And then we're gonna be adding a second circle right on top. So it's going to be two little circles on top of one another. The color might look a little bit bluish at first, which is completely fine. We will need to go over it with another coat afterwards in order to make it look completely white. So don't worry too much about it. It is adjustable. Okay? And another third thing that I need to add that is also white is the border of his hat. His hat has a little bit of white right over here. So I'm gonna dab this kind of fluffy part of the front of his hat. You know, it's like this Santa Claus Christmas hat. So I'm gonna be adding the fluffy hat as well. And the final detail, super important, is going to be the ball at the end of the hat. So all the white elements are placed together. Now it doesn't look very white right now, but we're going to be adjusting it in a way that it completely shines through right after. For now, we're going to be leaving this snowman and we're gonna let it dry for a little bit. Meanwhile, we're going to be taking care of the base. The base of this is going to be completely red. Red, it could be primary red, it could be purpley red, it could be any red that you've got, magenta, any strong red you've got, okay? I just want to show you exactly the shape that I'm going to be drawing in order to create this base. First and foremost, I don't want you to think it's gonna go really up. It's gonna be just at the bottom of it. So it's gonna be sitting on it. We're gonna come here, roughly in this area, and we're gonna draw two little legs coming out of the ball, okay? We also don't want it to be overlaying on the stroke. We never wanna erase the stroke. Don't forget that. We always want the stroke to show. Then we're gonna go back with the same color and we're gonna connect these two together with a nice and sweet curve right here, okay? So it's a curve with the two little legs coming out of it and it's gonna connect together into this shape. Now you're gonna go back with your red paint and you're gonna cover it all with the red color. Okay? So there we go. This is going to be the base on which, onto which the Christmas ball is going to be sitting. And you already feel that there is perspective in it. You already feel that this whole thing is round and there's kind of a weight to it and it's leaning down and everything is coming together. Now on the two sides of this red area that we've added, we can make it a little bit more purpley just to kind of reinforce the volume aspect of things. So I'm gonna go back with my mama bear and a little bit more purpley color, and I'm gonna just accentuate the border in order to make it darker. But so little, you know, it's very, very subtle. I'm gonna obviously create the blend on the side. I don't want it to be messing around on my canvas. And I'm just gonna brush a little bit of that purple on the side so that it looks like I know that there's volume. Just make sure not to go out, or else just like me, you're gonna keep on pushing the shape out. And you just wanna brush it in so that it looks darker on the borders, exactly. You can make it a bit more dark as well. You're gonna see very quickly how nice and how volumey it's gonna look like. So both sides, so it's as if the light is coming straight from the middle area. Okay, so these are the two sources of light. In order to make the middle area even stronger, you can go and dab some white paint and kind of blend it in the middle. So white paint is gonna obviously make the red look pinkier, and just dab it a bit in the middle. No need to do all of it, but you're gonna definitely start seeing this 3D effect, 3D shape to the whole thing more and more. Okay? You can nicely blend them together and you're ready. Now that your brush is red, I'm gonna ask you to go to a smaller detail right there, and we're gonna take care of the scarf of our little snowman with the same brush. No need to move any brush. With my mama bear brush, I'm gonna make a nice little line under his neck and just softly create a scarf for him. Yay! And my scarf has one side longer, so I'm gonna nicely just go and make it puffier and just elongate one and make it look like it just fell down from this area. There you go. And that is how the red areas of the top part and the bottom part are set. One more area that is red is the hat. If you're not comfortable moving around with my mama bear brush, you can still exchange and move to the baby bear. But personally, I really love the mama, so I'm going to continue working with her. For the hat, you're going to be doing a little curve from the top to the bottom and connecting the poofy white areas we did right over here to that little ball that is floating on its own. The point is to connect them together and to cover them with some red paint. Okay, so from the poofy area right over there to the little ball on the end, we're gonna connect everything together and give it a nice Christmas Santa hat. There you go. Yay, it's starting to look real. Okay, very good. Now on the outside, I don't know if they're calling it holly. Do they call it holly? I don't know. But in French, it's called roux. Donc, it's the roux in French, but I think it's holly in English, if I'm not mistaken. It's a nice little plant that comes with red circles right here. It's like a cactusy little plant. I'm not sure if it's a cactus family or no, but it's pretty spiky. And then we're gonna add another one over here. And then we're gonna add another third one right over here. Okay, so that's 3 of them right there. And then we're gonna decorate it with another one right here. So 1 circle, 2 circles, and 3 circles, okay? Then obviously we're gonna go back and we're gonna add the grass around it. So for now, just add the little circles. So now what are we missing? We know that our little guy in the middle could bear a little bit more white. He could be like a brighter white. For now, he's just a bit blending with the blue. So I would love to go and make that white more vibrant. Him and the snow in the back. So with the brush and a soft touch, you're gonna go and accentuate those whites from the top. No need to go all the way down because we also like the shadows that we've got at the bottom. Just accentuate some areas where you think the light is coming from with more white, basically, with a thicker coat of white. So it's gonna make him shine through. Look at the face. I'm gonna add a big white coat of white paint in the front so that I'm sure that we can see his expression. But on the back of his body, I don't really mind whether it's blue or it's a stronger white. I don't really mind if it's strong or not, actually. Okay? Finally, I'm gonna go and this fluffy area of the hat is going to be also accentuated. Okay? So you've got the fluffy hat, you've got the face, and you've got the snow at the bottom. All of this has been worked. Now what? Now there is two very important things we need to do. We need to add the grass, the trees in the bowl, but we also need to add some grass and greenery on the outside, okay? So first and foremost, I want to teach you how to make a green blend. The green blend is made out of blue and yellow. For those of you who don't have already mixed green, I'm going to show you here on the side how we make a nice lime greeny blend. I don't need to create a lot because I've already got a lot of green going on over here. So I'm going to show you really subtly. You blend a tiny amount of blue in a very huge amount of yellow because the blue is very, very powerful. Look at that. I barely touched my brush and I already have a lime green with it. How strong is that pigment? Do you see? Like I barely touched the blue and you saw how much yellow I've got there. And I already have a lime green. Now because everything in the background has already colors, I am forced to add a bit of white in it for opacity purposes, okay? Or else it's gonna blend with the background and I'm not going to be able to see anything behind it. Now the trees, where do we add the trees? We can add them on the sides or we can add them behind the snowman. I would add one right over here. I'm gonna start by adding a straight line first, okay? Oh, forgot to tell you, I'm using my mama bear brush, but if you're not confident, you could be using a very tiny brush called the baby bear. So you either go with this or you can go with a very, very small one, okay? Now I could shift to the smaller one also. So I've added the small line at the beginning, okay? And now I'm going to be going back at it and adding the details. So the details are, it's like an arrow. It's smaller on the top and as you go down, it's arrows. You know what I mean by arrow? I mean like it's an arrow going around that line we just added. But as you go down, that arrow becomes wider and wider. So you have to make the lines go bigger and bigger as you go down. There you go. This is all happening inside the snowball. That's wonderful. I love the holidays, skiing, the snow and all that. We don't have any of that here in Qatar, so watching pictures and painting drawings like this makes me want to live Christmas and winter. I'm gonna add another one right over here and I'm gonna start by the top, making it really detailed and narrow. And as I go down, you can see, I always tell my students it looks like a mustache, you know? When you go down, it's like a mustache that's growing. Oops, I've grabbed some red. I'm gonna clean it and grab more green and cover it. Just make sure that we don't blend with the other colors. And then you're gonna pull it down into becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. So this tree is at the back of our little guy. So don't overlay it on top of him. Just try to pull it really subtly in the back. He's not in the back. The tree is in the back, okay? So just try to make it very subtle. Now I'm gonna go back with some white and add more highlights on those trees. And it's also gonna make it look like snow. So it's gonna be super cool. On some of the leaves, not all of them, I'm adding some whites so you can see how beautiful it looks. It looks like it just snowed. And it's really random, yes? I'm not adding it really systematically. I'm adding it here and there. I'm adding it at the top, at the bottom. It's basically broken lines of white snow randomly placed. There you go. It looks pretty cool when it's random and organic. Don't think of it, don't calculate it too much. There's really no calculation to be done, to be honest, okay? So now that we're done with the green part inside of the ball, I'm going to be asking you to take care of the ones on the outside. So how is this plant? I don't know, I actually Googled it and it's called the holly. I hope that I'm actually pronouncing it right. How does this plant look like? Okay, I'm gonna try to draw it as good as possible. First and foremost, you start with a line that is straight. It's like the backbone of it. Okay, no, it's not gonna be clear over here. I'm gonna do it over here. Okay, I'm gonna show you right here. First, it's gonna look like a line that is straight all the way down. Okay, this is the backbone of the leaf. Then you're gonna do like swinging boing boinky lines, little mountains. Okay, and you're gonna close the leaf. See how cute that is? And then I'm gonna show you again. So it's like little bumps. It's almost like a rabbit is jumping. But in fact, I am doing the outer border of this leaf called the holly. And then I go back and I'm gonna cover it all with my nice green right over here. And that is only half of the leaf, obviously. There's the other half, which I will do right now. And it's again, little boink, boing, I call it boing boing, but it's like little rabbit jumps connected to the mother branch with the backbone we just drew in the beginning. And there you have this wonderful leaf. Obviously, it doesn't have any highlight, any low light, anything else is going to happen afterwards, okay? I'm gonna be doing a second one over here. I'm gonna draw the backbone first. You can make it a bit darker if you feel it's too light with some blue, which I'm about to do right now. And then I'm gonna do the curves over here. I'm gonna make this left side darker because it's like on the darkest side of the light because everything is like, no, the whole attention is more on the middle, so it's okay. If one side of the leaf is darker than the other, it's even better because you kind of see that there's actually two sides to the leaf. And now I'm gonna do the other side. 1, 2, 3, and you bring it back to the mother branch and then you connect them together, okay? I can't highlight enough the fact that this is just the basic color. There's no highlight or low light to it. It's just the main basic color of the paint just yet, okay? I'm going back and adding some contrast on the one I did at the bottom. And now over here. Funny thing, I'm gonna hide one behind the ball. So I'm gonna have one in the back and I'm gonna have one on the other side. There you go. Really subtle, super tiny, not even showing too much. I'm gonna cover this side like this. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna do a second leaf now. I think this one you're gonna see it pretty well because it's like super standing still. Then you do 1, 2, and 3. They could be thin, they could be bigger, they could be literally whichever size you'd like. And you can add as many as you want. But again, I have not shown you yet how to highlight them, so hang in there. The other one is a little bit darker. There you go. Again, we're gonna do the same jumps, the same rabbit feel to it, and I'm gonna connect it super easy. And that is a closed leaf. So now we've got many going on. I can even decorate it even more on this side. I really feel like it. I don't know if it's gonna be too much. I might add a few in the back over here as if they're hiding. I think it's gonna look really cool. Look at that. I'm gonna make it come out like this, and then I'm gonna do some more of these little jumps right over here. I think it looks good, right? It looks cool. It's not bad. Then I'm covering it. It's like a dark shade of green now. I've gone really darker because I keep on adding more blue. But in fact, the point is that the background is also really dark. So the darker your background is, the darker your color has to be in order to show. Because if on a dark shade of background, you keep on going with your very lime greeny shade, you're never gonna be able to stand out. It's never gonna be vibrant, basically. Okay? So I've added one more piece over here, and I might even add a teeny tiny one right there. So I'm really liking it. Okay, you might think I'm completely out of my mind. but I actually really like it. It looks really festive, and the more the merrier, right? Okay, this one is a bit lighter because it's on the front and we want to see it as a forefront camera actor. Okay, so there you go. That's plenty of them, way more than I thought I would add. But my brush has a little bit of blue right now, so it would be interesting that I actually take a little bit more blue and I add the background at the bottom. So there's no shape that sits somewhere without having the shadow, okay? So I want to teach you how to add the shadow at the bottom. You're gonna go very subtly from the bottom of this, from one side of this base, all the way to the other end, and you're gonna pull a nice blue line for me. First, it's just a pure blue line. Maybe there's a teeny tiny amount of white in it, but first it's just a line, okay? Then again with your baby bear brush, now we did a curvy line. We're gonna start brushing it out horizontally now, not anymore in a curvy way, but in a horizontal way, and we're gonna start brushing it out towards the outside, okay? Not too strong. And when you brush it, you lose the brush. I say loosen it so that your hand can actually leave it out. You don't need to forcefully hold it in. And if you want, you can even get a bigger brush, slightly bigger, so I'm going back to my Mama Bear brush, and you're gonna brush it out so that the paint goes further to the right. Now what happens to the very left side? You can grow it a bit, okay? But mainly if your shadow is on, if your light is coming from here and you're moving it that way, then you're gonna be brushing very lightly on this side, but the shadow, the big part, is going to be revolving around the right side, okay? So there you go. I'm gonna brush it in. I'm just growing the shape of my shadow bigger and bigger into becoming something really prominent. And you feel that now the whole little decorative element is like sitting on my page. You feel that it has weight, you feel that it's like, it's there, you know? There you go. And you can pull this shadow as far as you'd like in the snow. Like you can really pull it all the way to the right. And even with a little amount of paint, you can feel it just really etchy and it has this nice texture to it. There we go. All right, everybody, we're almost at the end of the painting. Now there's two things that I would like you to know. First and foremost, the whole design elements are there. We're gonna decorate it now with more stuff, but you can go your own way. Like whatever I tell you, you're not forced to follow it to the dot. So to make it personalized, you can feel what you want to do with it and just go with your own guts. We're gonna give it a name. We're gonna give it a name at the bottom so you can write whatever you want. I'm gonna be writing something that I want. You can write whatever you feel like writing. You don't need to write what I'm gonna be writing. And then we're gonna decorate it on top with snowflakes, and you can give it any design that you like. Okay, so make it yours and personalize it. All right, let's do it. Oh, I forgot one thing, super important. Once you're done with the painting, do take as many pictures as you can of the painting of you and the painting, and just post it on our page on Instagram so I can actually see what you've done. I'm gonna tell you again at the end so you just don't forget. I know you will. All right, everybody, we're done with this bottom part. Like I said, all we need is a little bit of highlight, okay? So I wanna ask you to take some white with the tip of your brush, and on top of the little bubbles, I want to add a little white touch, just to say that there is light, that it's circular, and then they are round, okay? Clean it up, and now you're gonna take and add some more highlights on the leaves. Everywhere that there is a little edgy area that is breaking into two, or anywhere you would like to add a highlight, please drop a little amount of white, and that's gonna give it a punch, and you're gonna feel things are gonna pop out even more, okay? So that is mainly what I would like to do for the bottom area. Please do that right now so we can actually lock it down completely and be ready for the next step. I'm gonna add a bit right over here, and here as a backbone, right over there, and over here. There you go. Okay, even here on top of this area, we could be adding a little bit of white and just as a highlight on the sides. Now, a very important place where there is a lot of white happening is inside the snowball. So inside of that place, I want to add little dots of snow. So take your tiny brush and give me little droplets of snow, but super, super small, with the tip of your brush, like really light-handedly placing them nice and sweet. It's gonna look like it's snowing inside of the ball itself, and it's everywhere. It could be on top of the trees, could be on top of the snowman, just little dots inside of this place, okay? And now this last step related to the snowman is about adding the face, features, and the hands. We forgot his hands. How can he be a cool snowman and talk without his hands? Okay, there we go. I've added all the little droplets of snow and we are ready to bring some life. Okay, so we're gonna be using a dark shade of blue in order to add his hands. I know it might look odd, but the dark shade of blue blended with a bit of red is purple. We've talked about it. And purple is dark enough, looks dark enough for us to be nice and sweet as a woody effect for his arms. So take some purple color and give me 2 little sticks of snow that kind of woohoo go out of his tummy area. One like this and one from here. And this is going to be his arms open wide and cute as a button. You can also give him little arms, little hands. Okay, adding a few fingers. I'd add maybe 3 or 4, whatever you see fit. You can use a teeny tiny brush to do that. Yeah, you don't need to. And we're gonna also be adding his expression, meaning his mouth and eyes. Eyes are super easy. 2 little circles, 1 and 2, right here. Okay? And then his mouth is gonna give us a huge smiley face. You're gonna pull it at the bottom and leave some space for the nose. So just at the bottom, you give me a nice smiley face of our snowman. Yay! Super happy. All right, very cool. He also has buttons with the same color. We could be dressing his little buttons on the tummy area. I know the paint in the back is not dry, but we don't care much. Okay, so just try to swivel around the circle. And now the element that's missing the most is his nose, okay? That is really, really not there at the moment. And the nose is with orange. So we're gonna blend some yellow and red together to get some orange. Really small amount, you don't need a lot. So a small drop of red in the orange, in the yellow is gonna give you a nice orange. So with this orange, we're going to be pulling his nose out and make him look like a real snowman. It's a little carrot. Not too hard though, it's just a little triangle at the area of his, you can use the baby bear actually, that would be way smarter, because it's more subtle and you give more control. It gives you way more control. Okay. Then you pull it and you close the triangle right here. Possible that the paint is not dry as well, just like mine, but you just need to fill it in and it will all get dry together, which is perfect. Yay! He looks so cute. Under the hat, you could be adding a bit of blue just here so we can feel that the hat is actually sitting on his head. Just a bit of shadow under the very fluffy area, but make sure you don't overpower too much and it doesn't kind of cross the face so it doesn't go on top of what we did as his facial expression. And then also the fluffy area has to remain kind of white, which is what I kind of am trying to achieve right now. And a bit of highlight on the head, little detailed elements that are gonna make it really cool. Again, for the highlights, you can add these little white dots I told you about literally everywhere. It just makes it better and better. I'm gonna add it on the scarf, I'm gonna add it on the top, you know. It never looks wrong. You can add as many as you want. Okay. Now, I told you I was gonna write something, okay, over here. I'm gonna write happy. You could write anything that you'd like and in any typography that you want. I'm gonna use my handwriting And I'm gonna use some white and orange blended together. So a light shade of orange, and I'm gonna be writing happy. As in happy holidays, as in happy life, as in let's all be happy, okay? So let's do it. You could be writing it, I'm telling you, literally in any font that you want. If you're comfortable with a big write-up, you can do it with a big write-up, or you could be writing nothing. You could even leave it empty if you feel like it, but I'm just in the mood to write happy. So let's go. So let's go. I'm gonna write a nice H letter and then an A. It's gonna make it look nice and romantic, you know, like the hot chocolate mugs you have in your kitchen, which are warm and fuzzy and make you want to turn the chimney on and relax and end the year beautifully. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. Just wanted to write happy, and I think it's not that bad. You like it? Do you like it? I'm happy if you like it. Take some picture and send me what you've done with yours. I'm really curious to see what you guys have done, and I would love to give you some feedback over your beautiful designs. So I wrote happy because I just felt like it, okay? So you can write anything you want, you can personalize it in any way that you'd like. It's your own little toy. Now the final highlight of this whole thing is going to be at the top of the bubble. There's no way that this looks like a real circle if it doesn't have a highlight on top of the glass. So right on top of it, really boldly, you're gonna go and add a nice white line, even maybe two, just like I'm adding, in order to look like a glass. Secret for it, don't blend it too much. Secret for it, don't push it too much. Just give it a sharp white feel to it. You could even do another thing and reinforce the outline now that it's all set. You can even go and make the outline darker. It's gonna make, contrast is everything, you know, it's gonna make the whole bubble even crisper and stronger. So go with the white first, highlight it with the white, and then you can take back a darker shade of blue or anything and just go over the border in order to reinforce it. I'm not gonna go all the way, I'm just gonna go a little bit. I already did a lot over here. Okay, and that's pretty much my take on the bubble, on the circle. I'm just gonna fix a little bit over here at the bottom because I went too much down with the purple. There we go. Cool. I kind of like it. It's not bad. You can play with it for as long as you want. You can touch up on the details and all that. There's one little thing I want to show you to finish this painting, and that is how to make snowflakes. So there's two ways. There's the non-detailed way and there's the more detailed way of doing it. First, we're going to go with the non-detailed way, which is taking some nice white paint with the tip of your brush. I call this the drumming of the snowflake. So it's a positioning of two brushes on top of one another. One is going to be hitting the other one while this one is going to remain steady, okay? This remains steady, and then this one hits it. And while it's hitting it, it's going to drop little white paints, and you're going to just order your hand around to see where you want to position those. Advice, don't go too close to the paper. You might get a big blob of paint. So try to get, see, yeah, my first blob was humongous. So try to be as high as you can and get more paint every single time, and try to drop them in the area that you want it. So it's gonna look like snow, and you can guide it anywhere you'd like. So it's gonna look like little droplets of snow here and there. Some are gonna be bigger, some smaller. I like the randomness of it, and I really love doing this effect. I do it in almost everything that has snow effect. It's there. So if you positioned it a bit too much and it came on top of, I don't know, on top of your snowman's face or on his eye, just like mine, you can go back with a smaller brush and give it a small fix. I'm gonna give it a small fix right now. There's a big drop of water that kind of fell right here. I'm gonna clean it so we don't have too much water. Okay, that removed all the paint. So try to fix whatever happened which you were not happy about. Just try to go back on top of it and give it a small fix. from my end, I need a big fix because I kind of had a big drop of water and a big blob of paint. So I lost one eye. My snowman lost one eye. I'm gonna fix his eye. And I'm also gonna fix the carrot area, which is also gone in the water. Yay, there you go. Carrot is back. And my snowman's eye is almost there. I'm gonna give you a more beautiful eye than you've got before. So there we go. This is our little snowman ball painting. And it's pretty fun, as you can see. It's a lot of details. It's a lot of techniques and a lot of nice elements. I hope you enjoyed it, but I haven't finished. I want to teach you one last thing before you leave me. And that is how to make the little snowflakes. Snowflakes have so many designs. Right now we kind of populate it with snow, but if we want to add a couple of very defined designs, I would recommend you kind of check what I've got in mind to do. So first and foremost, we all know that they're all going to be in white. So we're going to pour some white paint. That is going to be the first step. Pure white, snowflakes, pure white. Okay? And they're made out of 3 lines. 1 vertical one, and then 2 that form an X shape. Oh, forgot to tell you, I'm using my baby bear brush. So this is a snowflake, but this is not yet fully done. Then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna dress them up with little upside down arrows, okay? At each and every branch. So it's like little arrows at every branch, and try to make it as subtle as possible. Just gonna add a more snowflakey effect. So I'm adding 2 little arrows at each and every one of its arms. And this is how I would do a snowflake. Okay? Let's do it one more time. Let's make one over here. Okay, again, you do a vertical line. Mine is not very vertical. Try to make it a little bit more vertical. And then 1 X shape. I'm making a big one so you can see clearer. And then you go back and you do little arrows. I'm gonna just elongate it a bit. Arrows on each of the arms of the snowflake. I did it in the other direction, I think, this time. Yes, yes. I didn't do it in the right direction, but I'm gonna do another one now, so you can see. Okay? There we go. You can even do some circles on the arms. Now there's another way also of doing them, okay, and that is really cool as well. The base is always the same. So you make a smaller one right over here. Oops, you can make a smaller one again over here. Hold on, I'm just gonna take a bit more paint. Okay, so you make another one like this, straight one and then an X shape, but instead of doing the arrows, you're gonna add some circles. You're gonna add a circle at the ending of each of them. Each arm has a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you're gonna be adding those little arrows right over here. So it's gonna be at the border of these, they look like little men. You're gonna get a snowflake. So I'm doing them pretty big, but you can go and do them really small also. You don't need to have them like humongous like mine. You can have really smaller and subtler ones in different areas. Like I literally am doing huge ones so you can actually see on camera. Meanwhile, my snowman is kind of blending. I'm gonna give him a quick fix. Alright, so I was telling you that you can have snowflakes of every kind of shape and color. I went with the white because I think that they look brighter and shinier. But literally you can use any size that you want. You don't need to make them as big as mine. You can make, and you can make 1 or 2. You don't need to make 51. It's literally your own taste. Doing the ones with the little arrows, it's a little bit of a detail work, but it's worth it because it looks really good at the end. Okay? You can add a few more that have bigger snowflakes, you know, without any design or anything, just bigger circles. There you go. You can can even have one on top of this snow, with this holly. And here is my finished version of the snowman in a ball. So I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna peel the Scotch tape now with you just to make sure that I show you the finished result. I'm gonna show you how the washi tape is actually very, very efficient in doing so. And it gives you a very nice finish, and you can almost frame the painting and it's ready to go. Okay. Oops, it moved around a bit. Okay, let's just peel the last part in order for you to see the finished product. There you go. Ta-da! So this is my take on this wonderful holidays painting. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you had fun and you spent some good time and quality time with your family and enjoyed painting with me. I hope you learned a few tricks. I also hope you will be sharing pictures with me of your painting, of your own take, of whatever you wrote and how you personalized the whole thing. I'm really curious every time I see a new painting to check on the details, and the only way for you to do that is for you to share some pictures with me. And you can do that through Instagram, Facebook, or anywhere by tagging us at Let's Paint Now. Once you tag us, I can see the painting, I can re-tag it, I can post it anywhere, and I can show it to the world. Okay? Thank you very, very much. Again, don't hesitate into checking on letspaintnow.com. We have many new events upcoming in 2021. I am working on them at the time being, and I will be posting them really, really soon. I hope you loved it. I really was happy spending this time with you. Love you all. Happy holidays. Bye-bye. See you.